So right after the election, Qatar said they are no longer going to house Hamas leaders and act as a mediator between Israel and Hamas. This happened straight after the election. Now, Richie Torres, who is a Democratic member of Congress, certainly pro-Israel, he said after the election, the United States magically discovers that it has enough leverage to pressure Qatar to stop harboring Hamas. Utterly inexplicable. Of course, what I think he's trying to suggest is that, Qatar know that the new president is someone that isn't just trying to appease, but actually lays down the law. And suddenly, like a kid in a classroom that has the strict teacher come in, suddenly they sit up and, want to behave properly. And whatever your feelings of President-elect Trump are, one cannot ignore the fact that having a leader that's seen as tough and unpredictable intimidates America's enemies and or perhaps people who are ambivalent or kind of try to play both sides geopolitically. But I want to talk about what the implications for this could mean and also understand who are these people? Who are the Hamas leaders remaining? Because, of course, Israel has eliminated some of them. Sinwar Hania, who was eliminated by Israel, although Israel I don't think admitted to it, but of course we know it is Israel, and Mossad in Tehran, in the capital of Iran. Absolutely remarkable how they managed to do that. But who are they? So I want to read to you a report from Ynet News, which says, reports of Qatar agreeing to a US request to close Hamas offices in Doha have raised the possibility of the terror group's officials being removed from the country entirely. The Islamist terrorist organization claimed that pressure on Doha to expel its members would complicate ceasefire negotiations in light of Qatar announcing it was freezing its involvement in mediating a hostage deal between Israel and Hamas. Quote, this isn't in US or Israel's interest, Hamas officials said. They don't know about what's in anyone's interest, to be honest. Hamas sources told a Saudi newspaper that the group favours a model similar to that of the Afghan Taliban, which maintained offices in Qatar while fighting American forces and played a central role in negotiations that led to the US withdrawal from Afghanistan. Hamas leaders have been based in Qatar since leaving Syria in 2011, following agreements with Doha and between the US and Israel on conditions for their stay. Hamas has backup plans should its leadership be forced to leave Qatar's capital, including relocating to Turkey, Iran, or Lebanon. Hamas leaders believe Turkey offers a suitable base as Hamas leaders frequently visit Ankara, maintain close ties with the Turkish government, and enjoy wide public support as well as significant aid sent from Turkey to Gaza throughout the war. Well, Turkey is clearly choosing the side of evil. Deeply disturbing to see Erdogan's support of the Hamas modern-day Nazis. The article continues, relocation to Iran is also a possibility, though this option could hinder efforts to reach a deal as it would likely strengthen militant elements within Hamas at the expense of more pragmatic voices. I mean, honestly, this is... I don't really know how one could make much distinctions with Hamas. Hamas Qatar-based leadership primarily consists of its Politburo. Former bureau head Ismail Haniyeh resided there until his assassination in Tehran in July. Khaled Mashal is Hamas envoy abroad. The US Senate announced that several prominent members have requested federal agencies to extradite Mashal to the United States and freeze Hamas assets in Qatar. Mashal's wealth is estimated at $2 to $5 billion, and he has lived a life of luxury in Doha for the past 10 years. He faced harsh criticism during the war for urging Gazans to hold their ground while he himself moved between Qatar's upmarket hotels. Just so evil. Khalil al-Hayya is Hamas Gaza envoy and former deputy to former Hamas leader Sinwar, serving as his right-hand man. Al-Hayya is considered a key figure in negotiations with Israel, was one of the architects of the October 7th massacre, and arrived in Qatar from Gaza shortly before the surprise attack. Trained by Sinwar to establish good relations with Iran, Al-Hayya managed to climb to the top of the group's hierarchy. Zaher Jabarin is Hamas's West Bank envoy, and it's unclear when he moved to Qatar. By the way, the pictures that you see over here, I'll explain to you who each of them were at the end. Or perhaps, you know what, I'll do that now for you, so you're clear on who we have in the pictures. So, let's go through them quickly. We have on the far left, Going towards the right, Zahir Jabarin, then Musa Abu Marzouk, then Khalil al-Haya, then Khalid Mashal, then Ghazi Hamad. Okay, so those are the list so far. So Khalil al-Haya is a Hamas Gaza envoy, former deputy to Hamas leader Sinwar, serving as his right-hand man. Al-Haya is considered a key figure in negotiations with Israel, was one of the architects of the October 7th massacre, and arrived in Qatar shortly before the surprise attack. Trained by Sinwar to establish good relations with Iran, Al-Haya managed to climb to the top of the group's hierarchy. Zahir Jabarin is Hamas West Bank envoy, and it's unclear when he moved to Qatar. Jabarin is regarded as Hamas' financial mastermind. He previously held the position of the group's prisoner portfolio head and served as deputy leader of Hamas in the West Bank until Saleh al-Aruri's assassination in Beirut in January. Ghazi Hamad is a member of Hamas's Politburo and left Gaza in August 2023, previously serving as the organization's deputy foreign policy chief and as an advisor to Ismail Haniyeh and Hamas military chief Ahmed Jabari, who was killed in 2012. Hamas played a role as a mediator for Hamas. Hamad played a role as a mediator for Hamas in the deal to release Gilad Shalit in 2011 and is considered one of the most pragmatic leaders in the organization. While there's no precise estimate of his wealth, he and his children are known to enjoy a lavish lifestyle. Musa Abu Marzouk served as the Hamas Politburo deputy until Haniyeh's assassination. Living with his family in Qatar, he lived in the United States for 14 years and was arrested in 1994 for supporting terrorism. 2 years later, he was deported to Jordan, then to Syria and Cairo in 2012. Despite his arrest, Abu Marzouk held onto his assets, with Germany's Bild newspaper estimating his wealth at $2 billion. According to the Israeli embassy in Washington, he possesses $3 billion. During the war, his brother Yusuf was killed in an attack in Rafah. The evil of these people, that not only are they prepared to see their enemies killed in the most barbaric, horrific way and want a genocide of the Jews, they don't care if their own people suffer and die. They're prepared to use them all as pawns in their death cult and lust for killing Jews, and to use them to garner the world's sympathy, to use their death and their suffering. And by the way, that's not to say that many Arabs that live in Gaza and Judea and Samaria aren't also complicit. There's widespread support for Hamas. But the fact that they also prepare to live lives of luxury. And people wonder, they say, oh, Israel's saying that Hamas steal aid, but can they prove it? Yes, we can prove it. We have plenty of video evidence. We have other evidence as well that shows it from Hamas stockpiles. But also, how did all these Hamas leaders become billionaires? It's a mystery. So much international aid going to the Palestinians. And yet they all managed to become billionaires. It's a complete mystery. No, it's evil. It's really evil. And the fact that they live these lives of luxury far away whilst telling their people to fight the Jews with all their might, it's sick. Well, what I can tell you for certain is that the Mossad, or I don't know whether it was a former head of Mossad, was being interviewed, and he said, be under no illusion, Israel now will have as its mission to eliminate these people, to go after the heads of Hamas, who orchestrated the worst massacre of Jews since the Holocaust. So get familiar with these faces, because I have no doubt that soon you will see them in the news. And not for the reasons that they may hope, but for the same reason that Ismail Haniyeh became a household name recently. If you've made it so far in this video, I have a request for you. JTV has been having a really big impact in spreading the truth about Israel and creating positive associations with the Jewish people, Judaism, and Israel. We've really grown a lot, particularly in the last year, and we're having a really significant impact, both for Jews and non-Jews. But I really want to take JTV to the next level so we can start to compete with the other big online media beasts that are often peddling anti-Israel content. And the way we're going to do that is to scale even faster. So I'd love to build a team where we have other presenters doing shows like me, let's start doing documentaries, supplementary content, animated content, etc., etc. And to do that, I'd like to build a bit of a team. So what we're going to do is we're going to do one fundraising day, just one, where we try and build up some funding in order to fund such a team. Now, to do that, it's going to obviously require people to get involved. And I'm wondering if you would consider, if you're watching JTV content and appreciate what we do and want to help partner with us in taking this to the next level and spreading the truth farther and wider than ever before, I wonder if you'd consider partnering with us simply by running a mini page on the fundraiser that we do, where you just reach out to your contacts on that day that we choose to fundraise and see if they'll all chip in. If you'd be up for doing that, of which I would be so grateful, then please click on the Google form link in the video description of this video, where you can simply just put in a few contact details. It'll be a very small commitment, as I say, literally just one day that we'll all agree upon as a collective community. But the impact is going to be so big. There's such strength in numbers. If we all pull together and do this, we can take this to the next level. And as I say, all of us can partner together in bringing and spreading the truth to the whole world. So please do consider clicking on that link, filling in the form, and I'll be in touch very soon to talk about the next steps. Small commitment, but a big impact. Hi, thank you so much for watching. To watch another one, click here. To stay up to date with all our content, click here to subscribe. And if you're able to, you can help support JTV to grow and grow by clicking join below this video, where you can become a member and get perks including early access to videos and private live discussions with me. But most of all, you'll be partnering with us on our mission to change the world.